I always hate it when I get to the end of a fic, especially when it's one I actually like. Chapter 20 of It's a Dangerous Business Going Out Your Door by Jetfire 2020. And at last, they're all back in the Ponyville Library, lighting in a heap. The shock of warmth and shelter nearly overwhelming the three travelers. Twilight sparkled got to her clothes and turned to face them. Are you all right? She asked, lowering her voice. I got you to be sure I could get in. What was that thing? Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash stared for a moment, lying sprawling across the way. Then they all gave a tremendous shout, looked at each other, screaming, crying, laughing, grabbing for each other with their hooves, nuzzling each other, tumbling over each other on the floor, falling over the cushions and stray books. Camosa drew Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Spike, Apple Bloom, and Sakura out of the upper rooms. No sooner had they emerged on the stairs than Dash shot to them, trying to hug them all at once, while Rarity and Applejack galloped to Twilight and tackled her in a furious embrace, nuzzling her, even licking her, wanting to make sure she was real. With a squeal of delight, Pinkie Pie was down in their midst. White Unicorn and Orange Earth Pony embraced her as well, nuzzling her with delight. And even Fluttershy was caught up in the joy of the reunion, flying over to join the hug. And Dash flew back, picked up Twilight in a great four-leg hug, and lifted her off the ground. Spike leapt into the fray, and every pony gave him a muzzle. Apple Bloom joined him next, laughing and giggling, and Applejack took her up and was crying as she nuzzled her. Every one of them looked over at Sakura, who started to say something in rhyme, but didn't get very far, and they all tackled her, wrapped her around in a hug that really became every pony hugging every pony. 10 minutes of hugging, nuzzling, laughing later, the wild energy of the reunion finally abated somewhat, and Rarity found her voice. Oh, Twilight, all right! You're all right! Twilight said with a smile. Looks like I got to you just in time. You'll say that hard, Sugar Cube. No doubt about it, Applejack said, sitting back and holding Apple Bloom in her lap. But Twilight, yes, how did you get to us? It was the bed of Violet, Unicorn. It does heal my horn rot. It supercharged my magic, and I was able to find you because, well, and I had one just a while ago about the three of you, so I knew exactly where you'd be. I thought you didn't believe. I said with firmness, but whether I believe in them or not, so I'll take what I get. Revitalized. It's bigger than any animal I've ever seen. You saw an animal? Fluttershy asked. Her curiosity piqued. Really big animal? Well, snake, Applejack began. Woo! You did see a rattlesnake! That was what my twist is about, Pinkie Pie squealed. Was he as big as the world? I bet he was. Not quite as big as the world, Dash said, without giving her voice. But darn near. Nothing my awesome lightning powers couldn't handle, though, said. Pricey to her host. Rarity and Applejack did the same. As he did. Holy cow! Spike cried. Look at you girls! The heirs pulled away to take in the sight of the three ponies. What a sight it was. Even Rarity had grown leaner, firmer, more solidly built. Even Applejack's considerable muscles had been added to. Their coats were rougher, slightly longer. Applejack's steel guard armor glistened in the light, whether rich and waxy, the golden stitching flickering as she moved, along with the golden symbol, while the emerald in her chaperon shone brilliant green around her neck, while the dark blue sizzles of the pronghorn swirled over her body, making her look fierce and tribal. Rarity had the presence of mind to strike a pose. Brilliant. The crystal crest on her helmet, crystal streaks on her torso grease sparkling. That armor? Fluttershy asked, her turquoise eyes wide. But my Alma and Applejack still come from the same place. Well, yeah, the Orange Earth Pony said. See, my armor comes from Goddale. Where's Goddale? Apple Bloom asked. It's the country just on the other side of the mountains from Equestria, Applejack said. It's full of Earth ponies. Oh, they're not different than Equestrian ponies, but deep down inside they really are a lot like us, Applejack said. This is the armor of the Dale Guard. Patrols and warrior ponies to keep Goddale safe. From nowhere. My Alma, meanwhile, ponies. It was made by the deer of Shimmerwood, Fluttershy asked with amazement. We met a whole forest of deer, Rainbow Dash said with a grin. They're the ones who gave me these sizzles. She spun around in the air. I was going to say, it was fixed in my mind. Those drawings do seem to be pronghorn designs, Sakura commented. Pronghorns? Twilight repeated. You met pronghorns? That's three of them. They stopped, Princess Celestia. I used to always see them when she was giving me private lessons. You need Miss Huff and head boldly to I'll bring even double stories to the global art, Pinkie said dramatically. Oh, yeah. Something like that. They were like, "Hey, you mentioned lightning," she said to Das. "Is that what pronghorns?" "Sure did," Scribble Pegasus said. "This is such an astounding story," the finger pointing exclaimed, up and down where she stood. "You should tell to us. You should tell to us right now." "Story," Rarity repeated. So he started to glance from Applejack and Rainbow Dash. "Oh," Applejack said. "You know, looking back on the whole ordeal, it does make quite a story. And I, for one, want to hear every bit of it," Twilight Sparkle said with a smile. "Gotta warn you, Sugar Cube," Applejack said. "It's a real long story, too." "We've got all day," Spike said, pointing out the window. Sure enough, the sun hadn't even reached its apex. It wasn't even noon. Applejack began. Suddenly, a dark green length of smoke darted out of the air in front of her. She squealed ever so loudly, the air voice threw back. "Roleplay! I really can't lose you. Oh, Roleplay, you're the best roleplay ever." She hugged it close. "Okay, now I have to hear this story," Twilight said with a puzzled smile. "Well," Dad said, taking an unnecessary in her voice. As he was playing, Rarity wasn't the only one who knew how to handle the audience. "Please tell us," Twilight said, sounding even more excited. "I'll lend you my ear. I would much like to hear," Sakura said, trying on her sitting down mid the others. "I suppose you all deserve to know," Rarity said. She used her magic and removed her helmet, seeking her violet mane. "At the very least, you deserve to know why it took so long." "I'm okay with telling, provided we can stop for lunch at some point," Applejack said, sitting her upside. "I got hankering for fresh apples for 3 apple acres." "Sure, we'll tell you everything," Daniel Dad said. I bet you two will like some of the parts of the story I had to tell." She glanced at Rarity and Applejack. "I didn't really go into detail of pronghorns. I happened to twist million, Applejack said. "I also had things happen to me that you two weren't around for," Rarity had. I suppose now we're all going to learn the full story of our journey." "I gotta go get sleep out of school," Apple Bloom cried, pouncing to her hooves. "I'm really liking this ending," Rarity said. "Go get Blake about my toss too. Tell him to bring apples." "Sure will," Apple Bloom said, dancing for the door. "You got a feeling we're gonna need some tea," Spike said. Standing up. "Good idea, Spike," Twilight Sparkle said. She smiled. "Once you got the kettle on, go get a quill and plenty of paper." I want to say Q and Chris, but there's a little extra bit of the epilogue. But see, I mean, everybody just sitting around. Now, if I was writing this story and directing this, I would have a little bit of Twilight saying, "Wait, maybe we should add an introduction out here and how I got into trouble," and then start off with the beginning text and go ... But said, we got this. That night, in Equestria, in the great shining city of Canterlot, deep within the Palace of the Sun, Princess Celeste fire blazing in the enormous fireplace to keep out the chill that pervaded the spring nights. A short round desk sat a large stack of official papers. Dispatches, reports, proclamations, orders for the various ministries that held Equestria function. It's okay, Equestria. We're good. Of course, she told herself for the 100th time he really should have been in bed with her divinity, but she liked it. She liked the chance to rest her mind and dream. Since Luna had retaken control of the night and all his business, she had been able to regain the full joy more than 1,000 years ago. So she really, old habits died hard, and the midnight oil was a difficult one to break. There was another, even older habit at work also. Our tendency to want to know as many details of the country's functioning as she could. Her man as everything could get her hopes on. Thousands of years of life had taught her to be more relaxed, but the impulse to be controlling was still there. Still, she sculpts it now. Shimmer of her large horn. You could wait till morning. A white unicorn reins to her hooves, over her mane, billowing defying wind. Stretching her great wings briefly, she turned and began to head down to her. She had barely taken a step, however, when a trail of simmering purple energy slithered down from the high window, stopping just in front of her. Swirled, a roll of scroll onto the beam, tied with a red ribbon. "Oh, Twilight," Celestia thought with a smile. She had wondered when she would be getting her students' next friendship report. In fact, it worried her for a while. Twilight Sparkle hadn't sent her a report in almost 2 weeks. She usually managed at least one report weekly. Still, about friendship at her own pace. It wasn't Celestia's business to hurry her or to pry. She had done enough to set her on the path. Casting the scroll over telekinesis, Dorita the Sun was surprised to see that it was not the typical friendship report. And a single sheet of paper. This was a really thick scroll, comprising of multiple leaves. Notice another cloud of purple magic wafted in through the window, swirling around and materializing into another scroll thick with pages, and one more. Both of them coalescing into a roller group of bundles of numerous pages. As he levitated them all before her, Celestia noticed they were numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4, written on the blank side of the outermost page. Then a thin stream of purple magic around revealed a much thinner scroll, a single page more like she was used to. It had "Please" side of the page. Curious, Celestia trotted back to her cushion and settled down upon it, setting the scrolls on the rug beside her, levitating the indicated scroll. She wrapped it and unfolded it, reading it. Dear, my sincerest apologies for not wanting to write to you over the past 12 days. Unfortunately, I spent most of them in the grips of a particularly bad case of horn rot. Oh dear, Celestia said softly. I wish you had told me. Granted, horn rot was a nasty disease. It would be particularly so for a pony as powerful as Twilight Sparkle. It was also difficult to cure with healing spells, because it fed on the magic used, and caused the victim more pain. So Celestia was certain she could have helped. If nothing else, she could have put Twilight to suspended animation while the cure was brewed. In that time, my friends Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, along with my other friends Sakura and Applebloom, took the best care of me they could, keeping me entertained and tending to me when I became bedridden by the intensity of the disease. And thus, they were ably assisted by dear Spike. My goodness, Celestia murmured. So it had been bad. Is it wrong, guys, that I always enjoy when writers do this with Celestia? Just watching in the wings, see her, so that way we are in fact seeing things with her. I love doing that. Celestia in the background might fix. Celestia to be forced to belong. She doesn't really need to belong. She's just a teacher. I'll get back to that in a bit. However, I am now completely healed, and in as good health as I was before, so you need not worry. The reason I am still improved is due to the actions of my 3 other friends, Applesack, Rainbow Dash, and Harry. They undertook a long journey to the Arkback Mountains to find a flowering plant called the Phantom Violet, which ultimately cured my horn rot and saved my life. The Arkback Mountains, Celestia repeated. They were very far away, even on the wing. For 3 ponies, 2 of whom she knew were not Pegasi, make such a journey across strange lands was a sign of great bravery indeed. She began to suspect the reason behind the 4 scrolls, but she continued to read Twilight's letter. On their journey, they encountered many strange and fascinating lands, and met many amazing and wonderful creatures. These included the ponies of the Kingdom of Glidedale, including their king, Hammerhoof. Ha! So they got through Glidedale. Celestia smiled, wondering how on earth they could convince the Dale ponies to let them pass. She knew young Hammerhoof had been quite adamant about keeping magic out of his lands. He had written as much to her in one letter. As she recalled, she had yet to inform Glidedale about Luna's return. She had to go in pony to tell Lord Hammerhoof herself, but she simply hadn't been able to find the time. Perhaps I should make time, she thought. 3 pronghorns from the Pronghorn Network. I wonder if they met Clive, she said. The so-called Pronghorn had been handling her dispatches for almost 60 years now. Some more recent additions to that route included Equestria, Niles, and Audrey were also very pleasant. More pleasant than Clive. Also gave a bit to her. Who was into dreaming all the time anyway. And the deer of the Shimmerwood, including their ruler, Lady Valeria. They met Lala. Serial, not terribly long in the grand scheme of things, but far too long for her life. She was going to visit Glidedale with the 4th Eye Shimmerwood as well. But I could run the country just fine for a day or so. Through the whole journey, and I had Spike transcribe it. 4 scrolls I sent you, and I hope that you'll read it as well. My humble estimation is a tale worthy of the story of endurance, courage, and hope. My own experiences, and the experiences all my friends have shared with me, times are good, and all is well. Balls, that is when true friendship shines. Stiffest of chance friend will be by your side to lend a helping hoof, not only when you are at your best, but also, especially, when not much for you, perhaps even their own life. And if you would truly be that pony's friend, you must be prepared to give. Man, I wish more Karen thought Wang Fix would read this. I can only hope that if I'm ever called to struggle and sacrifice, I'll prove worthy of that challenge. Reading through Twilight's words. So obviously had been touched very deeply by things that her friends had gone through on her behalf. You grow wise more and more every day, she thought, so do all your friends. That could only mean good. With such a strong endorsement, Celestia could not resist. And she said so she needed to sleep. She never got tired. Seeking out the first of the four scrolls, she levitated it up with her magic, removed the ribbon, and unfurled it. A good adventure story. This isn't a fic, but I ended it when I first read it, so you guys are gonna get a treat. Before Luna came in, she gave her a little. I forgot how busy everything is in. Yes, cracking her head. Is that all you're eating? Luna couldn't help but smile. Sat next to her sister, looking over her shoulder. Then, with a warm smile, asked, "Count it easy to me." Celestia nodded. The day, which would go so wrong, started simple and pleasant. Cue my review. This fic is amazing. It's my favorite fanfics on fanfic for a reason. It's probably number 2. And it's not hard to see why. Go through the personal reason why. Restored me in a way. See, along with pony fics again, or fanfics in general, that was a mess. I used to spend all gigs or fake stuff like that. I wasn't really reading for entertainment. I was just reading bad and or bad fics in general and started making fun of them and going, ha ha, how stupid some of these people were. I heard stuff like our Key Striker stuff. Well, now, then I read this. Well, my little brother started reading it and he told me all about it. So I started reading it. Then I remembered how much I loved writing fanfics. I mean, fics, but they were mostly word of mouth. I didn't write anything down. But then I read this. I love writing fanfics. And maybe not afraid to write down again and just have a good time. Don't care about what other people think. Just if people end up reading it and end up enjoying it, good. If they don't, well, hey, at least you did it. And out now. And that's what this story did. It's that important to me. So, what's bad about it? What's bad about this fic? What do I don't? God, ain't that the question? What don't I like? If anything, maybe some of the purple prose. Remember, when I first started writing, I didn't know much about purple prose, so Lavender Unicorn Syndrome wasn't as annoying as it is now. But, I don't know. This is one of those fics that I genuinely want to say about it. I mean, do I want to talk about deleting a scene? Because I feel like if I deleted anything, it would take away from the story. How some people said, and I agree with some people saying, hey, you're going to run into Celestia at any time. They were afraid to. It wasn't until later that they finally got into courage. The obvious answer isn't always going to be. Sometimes the quickest answer is not always going to be right. And even then, he addressed it. Should I talk about? I mean, if I want more to the story, I'm technically. Maybe the Pronghorn Network, maybe the deer could have been more developed. I don't know. If it could, maybe more of the. It's kind of like how I have this problem on Rings. I know some diehard fans for me. I watch the extended edition. If I'm watching the non-extended editions of Fellowship and the others, I still enjoy it just as much as if I was watching the extended editions. Why? Because I really can't think of anything bad. Let's move on to the good, because I want to brag all for about hours on this fic. Could you please not? We're trying our best not to go over 2 hours again on these things. Yes, Trixie. But what's great about this story, besides everything? Well, for one thing, the deer, the pronghorns, the glidetail ponies, mainly the deer, are way better developed than what was on the show, sadly. As a matter of fact, speaking of the show, I want to point this out. And once again, this is just proof that this type of fic can't happen with the show. See, here's my problem with the MLP movie. We got better movies. Here, Arcade Striker stuff, all of the more better movies out there than what the show would ever create. We can never have it on the show because the show's not made for that. What makes MLP grand is that it can push the limits of what the age group in their series are meant for. It can push those limits. That's why I love watching Twilight Sparkles and fight with T-Rex. That's why I love watching some of the scenes that they present me. But when Lauren Faust made the show, she made a simple adventure, slice of life comedy show. And that's it. That's what the show's meant for. That's what they want to craft. I mean, sure, it might be nice to craft something bigger, but then what makes the shows great? Now, fifth generation, would I love it if they made it supported like that? If they did make it more like Avatar. But Avatar could be its own thing. MLP could be its own thing. Just like Daredevil's its own thing in the Flash. And anybody thinks, oh, they should. Yeah, I remind you. They tried copying the Batman formula with Superman on Man of Steel, and did you see how that movie turned out? But back to these creatures were way more developed and way better crafted than the deer that showed up in the comics. Then again, the deer in the comics story doesn't make sense. No, son. How do you have an environment that's already got able to residents of Rivendell? Doesn't work! These deer are way better developed. And way better done. And much more elegant than the deer that show up in the comics or this. And I do feel like they're part of a bigger world. Even pointing out that there are races older and more mysterious than ponies. And you can feel it just the way that Lothlorien works and how well it's crafted and how you can touch it. I love Lothlorien and how she is connected to the world. And wasn't that? And I love how the pronghorns talk about the wider world and all these hoofed animals, and I am so glad that this author remembered that hoofed animals are all sentient. If you're an ungulate in the pony universe, you are sentient. And how there are wars and there's so many things going on outside the ponies' borders. And I love how Glidedale is developed by showing that there are even some cultures that reject magic. Which makes sense. I mean, yeah. Sometimes there's magical play. Even in a good fantasy thing, you got places that try to say no magic or anything like that. It just all connects so well. And that's the best part about this world building. Is that, well, Mycon has these superpowered beings and saying, oh yeah, they're always there. These guys have always been there, but they're not taking away from the ponies' achievements. They're not taking anything away. They're adding to it. And still making the points' achievements sound just as grand or just as amazing. And that's another great thing about these cultures. They're showing that they're not stronger than the other, and that their own uniqueness helps make the world bigger, makes it better own their world. The main three, I would say main six, but yeah. But whereas it's not here. Because the story was made for these three. It was made for Applejack, Rarity, and when this is like, yeah, they're gone for right now. Again, pointing out that Pinkie Pie, it's hard to do a good adventure story around. Not on Fall. Their story was the one that was made for them, but even while they're gone, the three that were left behind still had a chance to show some bits of character. Pinkie trying to keep everybody happy, Fluttershy being a good doctor, and geez, no wonder every time I told a pussy in a fic, I'm more or less inclined to go. Ugh. Last of the Dragon Lords in this fic ruined me. Actually, I think this fic ruined me for almost every other story out there. Except for Arcade Striker stuff, but hey, Arcade Striker's on. But the other three feel well done in character, showing off all sides. Her femininity, her generosity, her ladyship, her flamboyance, her desire to help others, desire to talk, her ambassadorship. Rainbow Dash, we got something that fanfics around here rarely deal with her, and that's address her fears, her doubts, her scares. It's usually just, oh yeah, she's totally scared. Nope, she isn't. Either that or they just totally ignore it or just throw it out the window like, I don't want to touch it. I'm just unique and I'm the type of person who feels character is to and ask yourself the character what really makes them afraid. And then understand why the character is afraid. Of course, we got a certain idiot who doesn't know how to do that. And of course, the Applejack shows her own stuff. I love how Applejack was also represented as a reluctant adventurer. That she was nervous about going off and leaving everything. And it makes sense. The story itself also gets to show everybody working hard, doing what they can, and being themselves. All of this just brings together an excellent and well done fic. Now, normally in January, I usually devote some fun to ripping on and tearing Mike apart, especially when it comes to a pony fic, and I will do that on Friday. But I made a promise to a friend that as soon as he finishes a certain fic, I get to it. Well, the time has come, my friends. It's time that we took a stand against one of the worst fanfics and one of the worst insults to all podium. And no, I'm not talking about Mike's crap. We already do that. No, I am talking about the lowly, the disgusting, the vile Confusion Bureau. And to do that, we need to take a stand. So, join us tomorrow when we start the epic that is Confusion Bureau. United we stand! This is a crossover with Transformers. Yeah, I said it. Written by... Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Should we be afraid? No. I mean, I know the last time we did a crossover around this time, it was horrible. But I'll make you all happy. This one's written by Arcade Striker. Yes! Did that one make you happy? See you then.